to be here with you. Hi, Moni.
Hi, Limor. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, welcome to our live. So, if you are familiar with my channel, welcome back. If you're not familiar with my channel, we talk about everything as long as it's legal. I'm just kidding. We talk about spirituality and we talk about all the emotional stuff, about people pleasing, about needing external validation, about all the not so sexy stuff people not talk about, in the spiritual community. So, welcome to our live. Okay, so feel free to ask your questions in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, just ask your question in the comment section, and we'll be do our best to answer them. Okay, so Mani, today's topic: are you feeling heavy lately? That's today's topic, right? Many of us, for most of our adult life, we believe that feeling heavy or being serious is just part of life, right? But sometimes, we feel this heaviness or this sadness or whatever you want to call it, and we don't even know why, right? And you know what? We don't even question in it. Like, yeah, we think that it's like part of life. And when we see like little children like play, right, and being joyful and playful, we think, oh, you know what? They just don't know what real life is, right? But
Yeah.
actually, we are the ones who got it all wrong, Marnie. So in this live, we're going to explain why we got it all wrong, and we touch on simple stuff that you can do that can will help you release this feeling of heaviness. So what do you think about this topic, Marnie?
Oh, this I love this one. This one is no pun intended, really. It's a heavy topic, but it's near and dear to my heart because this is
Hmm.
something that all of us go through.
Right.
We have, we have our joy in like nifty little things when we're kids. We love every sensation. We're fully in the now at that point, right?
Right.
And then basically
And
we become we become, adults, and our behavior, our demeanor, our outlook gets shaped by what our parents or our family taught us. Life is serious. You have to be an
yeah.
adult. Fun is only something you can do when you have enough money, blah blah blah, yada yada yada.
And you know
Total
what?
farce.
Yeah, and yesterday you told me something about like children in the playground, right? When they
Yeah,
play, they're so present.
they are. So okay, so here's the nifty thing. So if you're to and we're kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but we'll get back to it. But when if you take a look at kids when they are on a playground, they are fully immersed in the moment because they are taking in, and nothing
Right,
is dull or mundane to them.
right.
It's the feeling of the sun on their skin. It's watching the sunlight play in the shadow of the leaves on the grass. It's the smell, it's the touch of the metal slide or the chains on,
Mhm.
on the swings. It's all sensory and it's all in the moment, and it creates this
Right.
wonder and magic and joy that they just embody and that
Yeah.
we lost.
From simple things, And you know what, Moni? I'm one of those people who I always smile. Okay, this is like my default state. It wasn't like that all the time,
The
but now it's like
time.
my default state. And you know what? I get it like all the time. What are you smiling about? And I'm like, okay, like I'm doing something wrong because I'm smiling and I need a reason. Like, no, why I should be like depressed and serious and like, oh, I'm more serious and I'm depressed with like a straight face. Like this is how society like got it like backwards, right?
Yeah.
It's not a normal state for you to be like cheerful and happy and smiling, but it's a normal mindset for you to be like all serious, right?
So I want to just I'm going to call this my Cheerio magnetism theory. And I want everybody
Okay.
out there listening to this live, I really want you to give this some thought. So you have one person that you'll meet in your life who is just has this amazing energy, always has this simple sense of wonder and thankfulness and gratitude for everything that they have in their house. They could be overjoyed for a simple little itty bitty air plant that is growing on a magnet on their fridge. And these are people actually that when you're around, you feel a little better. You're starting to pick up on their energy, and
Right, right,
it changes your mood. It changes you. How many people do you
right.
like being around who are dour and serious and just angry, ticked off, and not at all happy, even though they could have all of these wonderful possessions that we're
Yeah.
told are going to make us
The
happy?
negative Nancy's. I'm sorry if your name is Nancy. It's not personal, but and part of it when we feel heavy, or there's like seasons in our lives when we can feel like more heavy than other seasons, because it's not always like this, right? And
Right? Yeah.
when we start to experience it, we start to think that maybe we are doing something wrong, or something is wrong with us. And you know what? You're not doing anything wrong, because this is just a lot of the time, this is just our energy recalibrating to a new level of awareness. And it's like we are in a transition period, right? Like, let's say, for example, you move into a new home, right? So you have to pack all your things and to put it in your boxes or whatever, and the moving truck, uh,
Yeah.
going to come and to take all this up. And so when you're in a transition period, you're going to experience a lot of chaos, right? So you're going to this new home, right? You're going to this new home, but everything is in boxes and everything is in chaos and it's not organized. So, but it doesn't mean that nothing is wrong. I just get to this
I read
comment.
that too.
It doesn't mean that nothing is wrong. It just nothing is wrong. You're just in a transition period. Okay, so we're just saying my mom was Regina Nancy, and she was the most outgoing spirit I've ever known. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's not
So
personal.
actually,
It's not personal.
no. So Regina is actually, oh my goodness, I want to say it was it Latin for queen. So there
Oh,
we have Queen Nancy and being an outgoing spirit. I would have liked this person, I'm pretty sure. Thanks,
yes,
RD.
this is the polarity. There's the queen Nancy and there's the negative Nancy, right? So, and you know what? And another point, that when we feel this heavy feeling, a lot of the time it comes from attachment. And what really is going to help you to feel better, it's so instead of asking yourself, so what do I need to let go of? Right? So just think about the things that no longer serve you, right?
Mhm. Exactly.
Things that no longer serve you, like, negative people, like a lot of maybe clutter in your house. So when you know, what do I need to do to feel better? So sometimes you don't need to do, you just have to let it serve you, and automatically be elevated, and you will feel better. So you don't need to do something to feel better. A lot of the time it's just letting go of things that no longer like makes you happy, or serves you in your
No,
life.
exactly. So when you brought up the analogy of, like, you're packing stuff to move. Let's say you're moving
Mm-hmm.
out of, basically this is going to be you're moving out of your old being. So your
Right.
house is full of stuff that used to serve your
Mm-hmm.
old being, right? If you go to move to a
Right.
new space and you're packing everything up, not everything needs to come with you, because the stuff that supported the old you isn't going to support the new you. And
Right.
this is where I love it here. This is my emotional dumpster. I'm moving it in and I'm tossing in all the crap that I don't need anymore. Somebody else can use it. Like
Exactly.
you let it go.
Exactly.
And two of the things that I found, and I know you and I have discussed this at length, the two things that really bring on a lot of heaviness and sadness and just a discontent is basically it's comparison. You're comparing your life to others,
Yeah.
and
Oh
you
my
don't
God.
and you don't have what they have. That makes you feel sad because now you don't feel worthy, but you are.
And you know what? In like the social media area, like you see all the stories and people like looking happy, but it's just a glimpse of a moment that they put on a smile for that picture, and you look at it, oh, his life is like much better, and he's like seems like happy and content, and my
Has it
life
all together
just
and I'm a mess.
yeah, and you
Right?
know what? Don't believe everything you see, right?
Hmm.
And you know what? And everyone has its own unique journey. And a lot of the time, even if someone looks happy, they like going through the same emotional stuff you are going through, but they're just releasing in like in a different way, right? So people can have like everything materially, but they don't have their health, right? And you can be like, yeah, you're like like an abundant being, like ready at a lot of light of happiness, and you don't have like a lot of possessions. So don't ever compare, and your health is really good, so don't ever compare your journey to other people's journey. There is a saying like the comparison is the thief of joy,
Of joy.
right?
That is very much right. Yes. And it's the attachment as well, like you brought up. It's the attachment and it's the comparison that just it seems to be the recurring theme that just brings people emotionally down. It makes them feel bad about themselves.
Right,
And now they have to try and figure out how to get back to this place where they figure they should be. And now we get to tie in all the rest of the lessons that we were talking about as well.
right.
The
And you
emotion
know
of
what?
the spiritual bypassing. Well, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'll deal with it later and I'll pass, you internalize those emotions and now you feel very heavy.
Yeah,
You deal with it, you get rid of it. It doesn't come to
right.
that new house with you and there you go. Sorry.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of the time we're feeling like heavy. A lot of time we feel heavy. We go back to the spiritual bypassing, but a lot of time we feel heavy right before a breakthrough, right? We
Yes.
feel down, we feel depressed, we feel like, nothing is working, or I just want to give up. And you know what? It's like magic. When you like give up, you're not really giving up, but I'm going to explain what you're really doing. When you just give up, everything starts to come to you, right? Right? Because when you give up, you also give up the resistance and the
And the
attachment
attachment.
and all
Yep.
the anxiety you have, right? Because our joy is really conditional. We were programmed to learn that our joy is conditional. Once I have this, I will be happy. Okay, even I need to have this in order for me to be happy, right? Everything is conditional, right? So if everything is conditional, you can't really attract. You can attract the thing that you want, but it won't stay for a really long time, right?
Or it won't, or it'll take a long time to get there. Sorry.
Yeah, so everything is conditional. Okay, I will be happy when I have it, and and you are wondering why I'm not experiencing it. Just because we have so much resistance and attachment to the thing that we literally push it away. And if the like I'll tell it again, the universe is just one big copying machine reflecting your energy back to you. So if
Right.
you are always oh, I'll be happy when the only moment that exists is the present moment, and what your so-called future is, it's actually what you if you want to create the future, just pay attention what are you doing right now, right?
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
the
Feeling.
so-called future is like just a reflection of your inner being right now. So if you are, for example, if you are experiencing something that you don't want to experience in your reality right now, it just maybe a reflection of the old you, like for maybe 1 year ago, 6 months ago, or whatever. So the best thing that you can do to change the future, right, and to feel lighter is to put your focus on this present moment, because what you're doing right now, you will reap you know
Ru-
the fruit in
Yep.
the future.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So being present is also one of the things that if you feel heavy, or usually when we feel heavy, it's because our mind is like spiraling out of control, and you feel a lot of anxiety when you think about the future, right? When you think about the future, what's going to happen when you are not present, right?
And
So
you're
this
like,
is what,
thanks a lot, ego, like sending me into that spiral. Like I really needed that.
yes.
Like, oh my
And you know,
goodness.
yeah, and you talk about the spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing is, we were taught in the spiritual community that, of course, there's a lot of emphasis that you need to, feel good or whatever. You need to be happy all the time. And you can actually do it. And I used to be this person all the time. Oh, no, no, I'm not allowed to feel like negative emotions. I need to be happy. I need to be cheerful. And what you are doing actually is repressing those emotions or those feelings
Hmm.
of heaviness or sadness or whatever you experience in the moment, and you just repressing him, and it's been like stuck in your body, and then like you're walking around with like this heavy feeling, and you are not even know why, right?
Yep.
Because you're not, you just need to acknowledge your emotions, because like emotions, it's like thoughts, it's neither good or bad. We give our emotions meaning, or this is the good emotions, this is like the bad emotions, right? So we don't want to deal with the bad emotions, what you call bad emotion. So we start to, because if you don't going to release them, you're going to carry them with you, and when you
Mhm.
carry them with you, right, when you carry them with you, it feels heavy, right?
Well, congratulations, Karen HOA. I'm sure I'm sure it was something you deserved. And don't apologize. If you're happy about that,
Yeah.
you're happy about that. There you go.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, when you create it, you know what? That's the way to create. When you feel all and complete, and this is just bonuses, all those stuff when you receive. Your happiness is not dependent on them, but of course, we deserve abundance and we deserve all the good things. But the starting point to attract those things is you.
Exactly.
It's from the
Exactly.
inside out.
So from what I'm looking at for Karen here, she has all these she has all these things, then she had no resistance to attracting and
Yeah,
attaining these. So, like, that's super awesome. That's what we're talking about, right? Like, that's what she
right.
wanted to experience. That's what she
Yeah.
has.
And
So,
I'm sure she has a really good vibration, right? The second one is
oh my goodness
with the
gracious.
other husband that has poor health. Oh, okay. The starting point is, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately, you can have one thing and you lack of health, or other things. So that's why we really have to be like really grateful for what we have, and not to compare ourselves to others, right?
Mm,
And
it is what it is.
yeah, and I'm sure you have a really good vibration, Karen. If you attracted all those things, I'm pretty sure you have a good vibration and you have no resistance. Yeah, so this is a really good starting point. Okay, so, oh, you love my accent. Thank you, Karen.
So,
Thank you.
so the one point that I liked that you have brought up was the to lighten up. Like your spiritual path doesn't, there are enough serious people in the world. The world
Right.
needs more, high vibrational people who are just emanate this like
Yeah.
awesome coolness that you just want to be around, right? So enlightenment literally means lightening up. So,
Right.
you know,
If you
whether
want, if you want to be enlightened, lighten up, right? If you want,
yes.
yeah. This someone said it to me and it stuck with me until this day, right? And I told you yesterday, you know what? Sometimes, yeah, some people will say, you have to be like serious, you have to deal with a lot of stuff. So, and you really can't throw caution to the wind, right? But you said, you know what, Limo? You should throw caution to the wind. So, other than all the technicalities like of life, right, that we have to deal with, the technical stuff, other than that, we need to learn a lot from like children, for example, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
they are not programmed like children until the age of 7. They are not yet programmed and they're fully in their subconscious state. So you see that they're like acting as if they were like really grateful. They're like, like me and you, like people will laugh at us like when we see a butterfly. Oh my God, a butterfly, a white butterfly. And people like, come on. There's something
Why are
wrong
you
with you.
excited over a
Yeah,
butterfly? Like it's just a
yeah.
butterfly. It's like, no, you have to sit here and think. Like seriously, think about the wonder of this. Like we were talking about this yesterday, I remember. And it's like butterflies, right? They have a very short lifespan. They have
Right,
these little bodies and massively huge wings which are incredibly delicate, and like you think, how do they navigate with those? Like the fact that they have lived and evolved and continue into our presence, like into
mhm,
our space, if we get
right,
blessed enough to have one land on us or whatever sort of thing. Like that's just, it is so incredibly cool, and that is the kind of wonder and presentness in the now that brings that just sense of calm. You're not yearning for something, you're not fretting over something,
right.
you're not worrying
You're
about something, you're not
content.
mad
You're
about something.
content.
In that moment, zen. Like that is so cool.
And you know what? And you know what? About like being grateful, one of the things that you can release feeling of heaviness of that, it's being grateful. And being grateful, people tend to overlook, but it's really an accurate science. You know what?
Yeah.
Because think about it. I heard this like I think it's the book like The Magic from the series of The Secret. When you take when you don't give thanks, you take things for granted. And when you take things for granted, what are you going to experience? Things are going to be taken from you. So the best way to reserve what you have right now and to keep experience more of what you want to experience is to give thanks and not to take things for
Ex-
granted.
exactly.
Hi
You
from
know,
India. Good to see you.
hello.
If you have questions, like
Hello,
feel
Mad.
free to ask questions in the chat. Okay, so
So
yeah, okay, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, so like, so going circling back to like being in the now. So everything is energy. I want to say it
Right,
was Einstein that said, everything is energy, and that's all there is. You know,
right,
so if everything is energy, energy is a frequency. If we're energy, then we are frequency. And when you say the universe is a giant copying machine, well, if we put out a frequency of anger, discontent, or just being annoyed, well, that's the experience we're going to get. We're going to get more of, because now
yeah.
that's what we're attuned to,
So
right?
you know what? Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, so since everything is energy, even the heaviness that we feel sometimes, like that, well, not sometimes, it's all the time, it's a type of energy, right?
Right,
So so the thing is that if you don't want to feel that heaviness, don't put yourself on the same frequency as it. Observe it, figure
right.
where it's coming from,
And also,
release it.
right, and also acknowledge it. Yeah, acknowledge it.
Yes.
Like I can feel heavy like for a few hours and you're not really aware, right? And then I catch myself, oh Limor, you just like walking around with this like feeling. You haven't like acknowledged your feeling, and I'm like, okay, I see you, hey. And you know what? It's like magic. Once I talk to my emotions, they're like, oh my God. Oh, she saw me. Tell me, right? It's like someone that you catch someone like it's it was like, oh my God, she saw me, and it's like, oh okay, go away. It's like that, you know what? It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know what? Like emotions, and another thing, but I think that Tony Robbins said it, emotions created by motion. So if you want to release or to change your emotions, engage in movement. Go for a walk. Go. It sounds cliche, right? But go for a walk. Take a deep breath. Move your body, right? Do something that immediately, like if you like wake up really early in the morning, you can go outside and you can go back like a totally different person. Totally different person. And if you are
Yep.
like getting up really early in the morning and you see the sunrise, and so engage in movement because emotions are created by motion, right? Because a lot of the time, like, God forbid, when people they're not alive, when they're dead, they're not moving, right?
Not to our eyes. No, on a molecular level, they are.
Yeah, I'm saying like the body, right?
Yeah.
You're not moving. So, and like think about it, when you sit like that all day, you're not going to feel like a really, high vibration feelings, right?
Yeah.
But when you engage in movement, when you are dancing a little bit, when you're like going to your, to the backyard or whatever, just moving your body, automatically it's going to influence the way that you feel. And sometimes we said that everything is from the inside out, but sometimes there are things that you can do, like physically do, that will help you to shift your emotions, right? Like moving, right? Like watching a movie, like something. And I'm not
Or
saying that you have to distract yourself all the time, right? And to not face those emotions, right? But I'm just saying that to engage more in movement. And then, this time of age, a lot of people are feeling depressed in all the social media because if you look like, like a generation like maybe 10, 20 years ago, a lot of people like were a lot of the time playing outside, right? With the
yeah,
friends or whatever. And now they're stuck in their computer and their devices and they're staying home and there's no movement, right? There's
there's
no
no grounding.
movement. Yeah, there's no grounding. There's not a lot of exercise. When you do exercise, there's like endorphins from your mind that makes you
Yeah.
feel better, right?
Dopamine.
There's like hormones. So like people like all day stuck with their devices, not doing any movement, repressing their emotions, distracts ourselves for, oh, why do I feel heavy? And I'm not being judgmental. I'm just, this is how it is. This is how we are all programmed, especially in this generation, right?
Exactly. No, I had the pleasure of growing up in the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
in a very remote area. So yeah, during the summer, it was 7 o'clock in the morning. You're out the door on your bicycle, going down to your friend's house to see if they want to go for a bike ride.
Yeah,
And 8 hours later, basically, it's you got to end up at home, to have dinner with your family or whatever. And those times in between, personally, I didn't have any concern about anything bad happening to me outside, and I
right,
loved being like barefoot in the grass or down at the
right.
bay in the water sort of thing, and I was always really happy with that. I can't understand, honestly, how people can stay inside for long periods of time and just play video games, but my concept of having fun when I was a kid would be just as different to them,
Right. Right.
sort of
And you
thing.
know what? Everything is on the palms of our hands, all the information, everything, right? It's so easy to get information, and yet
Right?
people are more depressed. You have more things, you have more knowledge, you have more information, and yet you feel worse. So, how can you explain it? Because people don't engage in movement, right? They don't engage in movement. And, a lot of this is the theme in our society that you're not allowed to express any emotions. If you're feeling bad, you just keep it to yourself. And you have to keep this like facade that everything is okay. And you think that something is wrong with you because you experience those emotions. And you think that other people are not experiencing those emotions, but they are. They
Mhm.
just don't have the courage to talk about it. And I don't blame them. We don't have the tools we don't learn the tools to deal with those things. So
Yeah,
we
we
suppress and we suppress. And if we feel bad, we oh, you know what? I'm just going to, ignore it or whatever. But if you experience over and over and over again, it needs attention, right? So yeah. So
yeah,
I'm not saying this is a way. It's a balance between being like know when you be. I don't want to say serious because you can do a lot of healing work and still be playful with it, right? It doesn't
yeah.
have to be like
It's a
serious. And you know
Now
what?
it's giving yourself the permission to do so though, because that is not
Right,
something that's in our
right,
programming that we got handed down to us from our family on how we should be. So, yeah,
right.
yeah, if you want to be a big kid and you want to be playful, well, go out there and dance like nobody's watching because nobody
Yeah.
else matters, right?
And I saw a quote.
Or nobody
The
else's
thing
opinion
one,
matters. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, and I saw a
You
quote.
saw a quote.
The thing, the thing won't make you happy. The thing won't make you happy, but being happy will bring you the thing,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
I
it's
like
the
that.
other way around. You are not waiting for things to come to be happy. You practice in being happy and joyful and right and playful, and then your vibration will take everything will take care of itself, right? Everything will be attracted to you automatically without you doing anything.
So I'd like to challenge people
Mm-hmm.
to, it's going to feel really really weird at first and nobody has to watch, nobody has to know you're doing this, but I want you to play pretend. I want
Yeah,
you to get back into that,
like kids.
did y- like kids. So think about this. Kids love playing pretend. They love engaging
Right.
and using their imagination, and to them it feels perfectly real. They can have an imaginary tea party. They may not have any cups or saucers or any teddy bears or anything else to put, or a table to sit at to do these things,
Yeah,
but they'll sit on the floor and they will imagine these things and they'll talk and they'll exist as if it's absolutely true and happening right before their
yeah,
eyes. And this is actually kind of the path that you have to take. It's one of those for doing manifestation. It's assuming the wish fulfilled. It's living as if it is already in your truth. It's in your reality because it is. So yeah, kids absolutely have it right. And we've lost a lot of that ability to be playful and engage with our imaginations because we're told that's not real and that's not worth
yeah.
pursuing. Well, I
And
will tell you right
we lost
now,
the magic.
we did.
We lost the magic.
But
Yeah, like
without people having imagination and being able to figure out stuff, we wouldn't have eyeglasses, we wouldn't have cell phones, we wouldn't have cameras or chairs or TVs
yeah,
or cars. Like
right.
these are all concepts that were come up with that came to somebody's imagination and their thoughts, sort of thing. All
Yeah,
good things come from imagination. So I challenge people, get back in touch with with your imagination.
right.
Do
And a lot of the
imaginary
time,
play. It's super cool.
yeah, a lot of time people tell me, you know what, I'm realistic. What I see is what I'm realistic. So you know what I tell them, and they can't argue with me. Like I'm telling them, you know what, if all the scientists, all the people that invented like aviation and the cars and Harrison
Mhm.
Ford and you know what and the electricity and stuff, if all these people just said, oh, you know what, I see is what I have, or I'm realistic, and they you wouldn't have like take advantage of all this stuff that now you now enjoying because of those people and their imagination, and they're like being like you know
Yeah.
delusional, if you can say. Yeah, and you know what, like everything starts with you. And so so let's like, if you feel heavy or you feel like sadness or you feel like negative emotion, there's nothing wrong with you. This is just part of living. Everything is duality. we have the bad stuff, what we call bad, or the good stuff, and everything. If you just allow and even like invite those emotions and confront these emotions, like head on. Oh, you know what? Okay, you know what? I see you. Just acknowledge your emotions, engage in movement, right? And you can ask yourself, is there something that now that no longer serve me that I can let go of, right?
Right.
And a lot of the time when we are as like a fixation on the result that we want to receive, we lose all the magic, right? We're not enjoying we're not enjoying the process, and we're not enjoying our journey
Hmm.
actually, right? And this is really makes us heavy because another thing, we try to control everything. Why?
But
And when you
that's
try,
ego based. Yeah.
yeah, and when you try to control everything, you will start to feel really heavy because you're not supposed to control everything. And especially we want to control things that we don't have any control over. Like how the other people react to us, or how other people behavior. We don't have control over it, right? Or
Right.
what's going on in the world, or whatever, things that you don't have control over. So automatically a lot of the people like telling me, oh, you know what, I'm upset, like I saw it on the news, or how can they do it, how can, so I asked them, I hear you, and also, do you have control over those situations? And they're like, no. So if you don't have control over this situation, just let it go and release it. Yeah, you can send like good intentions and energies, but don't try to control it, and especially not to react. And if we are human. If you can, if you are reacting sometimes, you can just practice and being the observer of your thoughts, and just be the observer rather than to be all worked up from this thing that's driving you crazy and you don't even have
Yep.
control over it, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Especially if it's other people. You can't control other people, and you can control. Yes, you can, you can, another thing, you can express yourself, you can, say what's
Right.
on your mind, but you don't have any control over it, right? The only
You don't
thing,
have
man,
control over them. Yeah. The only
yeah,
thing you
the
have
only thing
control
that
of,
you can
go.
control, what?
I said go. The only thing you can control is
Yeah, the only thing that you control is how you respond to situation. I'm not even using the word react. How do
yeah.
you respond,
Yes.
right? How do you respond to situation? Because there's one thing that you always have control over. It's the meaning that you give things.
This is
So if
true.
something is like bad is happening, you can choose, right? You can choose a different perception and
Right.
say, you know what, maybe it looks bad, but I
On
don't
the outside.
know. Yeah, but maybe the universe has like planned for me or something, so we have control. You have control over the way that the meaning that you give things, right?
Yes.
So if you
Exactly.
just release the control, and it's a practice, control of your ego. Your ego wants to control. Your ego wants to know. Your ego wants to know what's going to happen. He wants the familiar, right? So a lot of time, this clashes with our need to be playful and just carefree, right? Because we
Exactly.
want to know what's going to happen. Oh, billionaire
Oh,
Chris, thank you.
oh,
Thank
thank
you
you,
for being
billionaire
here.
Chris. And
Yeah, it's nice to see you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. And like I said, if you watch the replay, you can ask your question in the comment section. So, Mani, final words?
okay, so one of the big things for feeling heavy as we talked about is the comparison and the attachment. So
Mm-hmm.
let's be reminded here that all of us have two things in common. Every single person who has ever lived on the planet has two things in common with absolutely everybody else. We're born and we pass on. And the stuff that is in between, we are all on different levels, different paths, different speeds, and all of it is our own individual thing. So do not waste an ounce of your precious energy worrying about what somebody else has or what
Right,
they're doing and wishing you could be there. If that's what you want, make the intention that that is something that you want, that you're going to experience, and
right,
let go of the attachment of it. It's like placing
right,
your order in a restaurant. You know it's going to come. You just don't have the exact timing on when your food is going to get
right,
set in front of you. So this thing here is like, don't compare your energy to others. Like, just because like you go through seasons. I know we talked about this
right.
the other day. So
Yeah,
going
and you
through
know
the
what? And also,
seasons.
yeah, and also, you know the benefits of of not feeling heavy or being playful. We know the benefits, but the easiest, if someone were to ask me what is the easiest way to let go of this feeling and to feel better, is just to allow them to be. When those emotions come, allow them to be and don't resist them, because when they come, it's already a result of something that you thought. It's already a result. You can't change, in the 3D reality. It's already a result of something from your inner
Yeah.
being. So you just like, okay, this is how I feel right now. Maybe I thought a lot of negative stuff or whatever, but now when you are experiencing those emotions, just allow them to be and call them out. I see you. You know what? And they were like, okay, okay, I'm going, bye. It's just like magic. If you are just carrying it, like carry these heavy feelings, like for the rest of your day or your week, you're just going to carry it along with you. Whereas
and
if
we're
you
not and we're
just,
not meant to. We're not told you don't need to keep
yeah,
that with you. It doesn't need to
yeah,
go with you. It's
yeah,
acknowledge it
just
and let
call
it
those
go.
emotions out. Just call
Yeah.
those emotions out. Just confront them head on, and they will go. Like I promise you that. It's
Yeah.
like magic. So this is your challenge for this week. Just anytime you feel negative or you feel something like a heavy feeling, just sit with these emotions instead of, no, I don't want to, instead of resist this emotion, just
Mm.
invite this emotion in and ask yourself what this emotion is maybe trying to tell me. Maybe I've been thinking negative for the past 5 days or whatever. Maybe you know what, I'm trying to control something. Maybe I'm too attached to something. Because usually when we feel negative, we, we know the reason, right? If you look, you know the reason, right? Either you start a negative thought or you are worried about something, right? You know the reason. So just when you experience those emotions, just let them be and invite them in instead of resisting them. And this is like the easiest way to feel better.
So just because, you go through, yeah, and just like that. So you're going through a season where everything is great. And then you go through a season where just everything just seems like it falls apart. Everything's hard, heavy, dark. You don't like being there because you want to be back where everything was light and fun and happy. It's a season
Right.
that we go through, right? It's a natural up and down, back and forth, to
Yes.
and fro, yin and yang through life. So just because things are heavy now doesn't mean they are always going to be heavy. They weren't always heavy. They're
Right.
not always going to be heavy. So just acknowledge, like, when you're going through it, and we were talking about the dark night of the soul and the void and the whole nine yards. That's where that stuff comes into play. It's not always going to be
Right.
that way. Just acknowledge that emotion, as Lamore was saying. Cast a light on it, acknowledge it, ask where you might
Right.
need the healing that brings that feeling up,
Yes.
and then release it, because it's not
Yes.
meant to go with you your entire life long.
Right. Shed the light of your awareness. And just like entering into a dark room, when you switch on the light, the dark
Goes away.
disappears. Yeah, it's the
Exactly.
same thing. Just being aware, just allow those emotions to be.
And
I
that's it.
promise you, magic. And that's it. So thank you for watching.
I can't believe we're
right?
through almost 45 minutes already. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
That went
Time
quick.
flies. We had fun, right? We had fun. And Money,
Yes.
you want to show out your glasses? Show
Oh,
your
you want me to
glasses.
show my glasses? Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
got new glasses. Hold on just a minute.
Being
So here
playful,
we
being
have
playful.
regular glasses, figment glasses.
Be playful. Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
Money. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let's do our
You
hearts.
Oh, that's so good. We got it almost this week. Ha ha.
Right. Thank you, everyone,
Love
for
you, everybody.
watching.
Mwah.
Thank you, Reese.
Bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.